Hi, Chef Jessica here, and today I want to talk to you about the differences between opening a food truck establishment and being a personal chef. A lot of times when I do my introductory call with people, they are on the fence. Do they want to be a food truck owner operator or do they want to be a personal chef? And so I wanted just to give you my thoughts on this because I come across this a lot. And in my opinion, I feel like being a personal chef is the better option, and I wanted to explain why. Now, this is in no way dissing food trucks because I love food trucks and I think they're awesome. But I think that you need to make sure that you think it through. Now, initially, the cost is going to be a lot higher on a food truck. You may have to get a loan. You may have to borrow money. You are going to need to buy the rig, right? Put in all the equipment, stock your food. You have to make sure it's stocked before you make any sales, right? As a personal chef, you do not invest any money until you have your first client, really. It's very, very low cost to get started. In fact, you almost need nothing to get started. I mean, you can put a little bit of investment into getting the right tools or the right equipment. However, you can wait until you get your first client because really you don't need anything until they pay you. As a food truck owner and operator, you want to make sure that that rig is solid. Now, one of the biggest reasons why I tell people that I feel like a personal chef is a much better option is that the maintenance on a rig is quite extensive. As somebody who owns a rig, I own a 29-foot motorhome, and I have also managed kitchens. I've managed food service establishments. I know that both rigs and cooling and refrigeration and lines and all the equipment in food service establishment, they all have problems frequently. So that means that you have to really be on top of the service for your rig. You have to have somebody who can service it. You have to take it in regularly. You have to make sure it's all working. Now, when you drive that rig with all the equipment on there, moving it around, things happen. Things are gonna break. Things are gonna need fixing. Things are gonna need updating. And so that's something that as a personal chef, you don't have to worry about. Now, when it comes to the income, I feel that, the potential to have a much higher income is with the food truck. The potential is there. If you can get a good account like a stadium or a university or something like that where you are going to be exposed to hundreds of people, the potential is there to make like $10,000 a day. However, you are going to be working very, very hard. And a lot of the people who come to me and they're deciding on these options, a lot of times they are in the stage of retiring. They might be in their 50s or 60s. They're looking to get out of the business and they want to open up a food truck. And I think they're underestimating the physicality of the job. As a personal chef, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. Now, you cannot get to $10,000 a day as quickly as a personal chef, and probably you're not going to get there as a personal chef unless you want to do large-scale catering. However, it is a much less stressful job. So some food truck operators are making $500 a day. Now, as a personal chef, you can easily make $500 a day, and it could be guaranteed with your weekly clients. However, you are not going to have to spend the money on gas, spend the money on food products. All of that is taken into consideration. So these are the things that I think people don't necessarily think about. And it's so important to think it through before you start a business. What I like to suggest is in your mind, think about what your day-to-day life is going to be. What is, from the moment you get up till the time you go to bed, what is your responsibilities? And if you can see yourself in a food truck day to day, taking care of the maintenance, cleaning the rig, because a lot of times that doesn't get thought of. In a food service operation, the cleaning is so important. The staffing, the vendor issues. And then ultimately, who are going to be your customers? How are you going to get your customers? If you have thought all of that through and you have all that at your disposal, you have the right staff, you have the right vendors, you have the right rig, you have somebody who can service it, you're not worried about any of that, and maybe you have an account that is ready to go, then you're in a different situation. But a lot of times people do not think this through. Now, as a personal chef, you are going to be cooking different food every day, and it's not going to be how you want to cook it always. It is how your client wants it cooked. On a food truck, you only do what you want to do. You have that one style and you're going to do it over and over again. Some people, this is more appealing. For some people, doing different food every day as a personal chef is more appealing. So there are differences, but at the same time, I think that they are for very different people. Now, another thing you want to think about is your skill level. Your skill level as a personal chef does have to be at the point where you can adjust if needed. For example, if your client doesn't want any fat, if your client wants low salt, if your client wants no garlic, you have to have the skill level that can be able to adjust the food and have it still taste delicious. As a food service owner operator, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. So these are the things that I want you to think about. And again, I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer on food trucks, because I think they are amazing. I frequent them and I get really excited when I see a good food truck. But I also don't want you to trade one toxic work environment for another toxic work environment. So make sure when you're making the decision of what business to start, that you think it through all the way, and you make sure that you think about all your responsibilities and that you have all the answers to the problems that could arise. If you're interested in having the consultation with me, I offer a 20-minute consultation for $10. I used to do it for free, but I had some people not show up, and so I don't want to waste my time if you're not going to show up. But if you are interested, I offer a 20-minute consultation for $10, and we get very clear on whether this would be a good option for you or not to start a personal chef business. I'm Chef Jessica of Prosperous Personal Chefs, and I have been a personal chef for over 23 years, and I've been helping chefs get their business up and running for over 3.5 years. And I love what I do. I'm super excited about sharing that with other people, and I'm extremely passionate about helping chefs get out of a work environment that's both mentally and physically exhausting and into the life of their dreams. So if you have questions, reach out, let me know, and make sure you follow or hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more information, and be prosperous.